So good evening and welcome. Today's session is a little specialist, but those who have been using Excel should be knowing a lot about VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP. So maybe we start with something like that, and then we will look up the new function called XLOOKUP. How many of you have used XLOOKUP? Anyone?
No.
No? Anyone? Arth and Janvi, have you ever used XLOOKUP?
No, I've used V and H, but not X.
Okay, let's see how it works. So we will quickly run through VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, see what are the deficiencies of that, and therefore how XLOOKUP will help us. Let's see. Okay, so let's get right into the act. I will share my screen. Okay, can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So I have a simple, see whatever we do here, we are doing it on very small amounts of data, but you can imagine what I want you to understand is you must imagine how it will work with large amounts of data. So here we have one sheet, which is our base sheet on which we will start working. You will see the VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP functions, and then get to what we can do with XLOOKUP. So this is a very simple sheet which has the product code, item name, price, quantity, and value. Typically, what happens in a situation like we have, say, for example, a code, a product code, and we want to look up what is the item name, right? So how do we do it? We just write the formula saying is equal to VLOOKUP. VLOOKUP stands for vertical lookup, open brackets. VLOOKUP, what do you want to look up? I want to look up this cell, comma, where do I want to look it up in this entire table, right? Comma, and what is the offset column? So we want to, suppose we want to look up the value. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth column. So we'll write the offset column as 5 and close the bracket. So we will get value as 35,000. Or we just want to look up, just move this away a little. Okay. Or we just want to look up the item name. So what will we say? Equal to VLOOKUP, open brackets. What do you want to look up? This particular cell. Where do you want to look it up? In this entire table, comma. And which column is item name? It is column number 2, 1, 2. Okay. So we'll say column number 2 and we can close the bracket and we get the name. Right? Are we clear on this? How VLOOKUP works? It's a very simple formula. What you want to look up, where you want to look up, and then where is the result stored. So these are the 3 things that we need to know. Very simple. Now there are lots of issues here, but this is a very, very simplistic case. Now suppose I want to look up from the name. So if I want to say, look up the quantity of each product sold. So I want to look up from the name. So I have got the name here and I've got the name here. So what will I say? Equal to VLOOKUP open bracket, this, comma, where do I have to look up? Now see, I want to look up from the name. See the difference here? I am looking up from here. Take this entire table, comma, and what I want to look up, I want to say, I want to look up the quantity. So quantity is in which column? 3, 1, 2, and 3. So I just close the bracket and I get the quantity. Are you getting this? It's very simple.
Yeah.
You saw the difference between the first and the second option. What we did was, in the first case, we looked up the code, and from the code, we could look up anything. Suppose we wanted to see, this is the total value. Suppose we wanted to see the quantity. So what we would have said, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So the offset is 4th column and not the 5th column. So we could have written 4 here, and we get the quantity, right? So you can look up the quantity, you can look up the price, you can look up the value, you can look up the item name, whatever you want to look up. What is important here when you are looking up is you have to have all these in a contiguous range. Each one has to be next to each other, and there is an offset. So we say from here, we say number 1, 2, 3, 4 columns. Or in this case, we started from here. We said from here, it is 1, 2, 3rd column. So here we said comma 3. You got it?
Yeah.
So this is very simple. You are looking up. Now what happens when you don't have an exact match? Suppose I write 105. Array, the formula is still showing 100. So what is 100? The quantity of 101, right? So what you have here, I'm just opening up the formula here again. After this, you have the option to say, I put a comma, true or false. True means approximate match and false means exact match. So by default, it takes true, and therefore it is taking an approximate match. So right now, what it is doing is it is going to the earlier cell. So if you say 105, it will go to 101. If you say 119, it will go to 101. If you say 120, it will go to 120. Okay. But when you say false, array false, you must find an exact match. In which case it will say that this is not available or not applicable. Okay. So there is an error here. Are we clear on this? So here we said true or false we want to say. So if we say true, which is an approximate match, you will get the right, you will get the earlier one. Suppose we said 119, still it will show us 100 and keyboard. But if we say 120, it will show 200 and mouse, because mouse quantity is 200 and the description is mouse. Are we clear on this?
Yeah.
So there is a option to go to the earlier one or go for an exact match. If there is an exact match, if you remember, once we have done this before, if there is an error, what we use a formula called if error. Remember? So we say equal to if error. Put this into brackets and then comma, not found or not available or whatever we want to say. So if there is Now see, I'll make this change. I'll make this into false. That means it is looking for an exact match, right?
Yeah.
So it will show us not found. Are we clear on this? So if there is no exact match, it will show as error, or we can give an error message. If there is an exact match, obviously it will return the value there. So this is how VLOOKUP works. So there are,
That formula again, please. This
Yeah.
last if
so what we said is, if there is an error, or if this formula returns an error, then what you should do, you should print this. The formula was H4, that is, you look up this, in which range, this range, A4 to E8, which column 4, that is the offset. So column 4 is 1, 2, 3, 4, that is quantity. And we said false. False means
it should be exact.
it should be exact. Yeah. So if it is not exact, then you should say not found. Right?
Yeah.
And if you don't give this if error, then you can just close it here. And we will remove. Right? It will look something like this. It looks a little messy. So we put that if error so that it looks a little neat. Right?
Yeah.
So this is how VLOOKUP works. Now, if you transpose these columns down here, what I have done is I've just transposed these columns. I have made the codes which were in a column, I have made it to a row, and item name, which was a column, I have made it into a row, and likewise. And the same way, I have the formula which says HLOOKUP. The logic is the same. Look up what? This one. In which range? The entire table. So what I have said, HLOOKUP H12, that is this one, comma A12 to F16. So A12 to F16, I have taken the entire range. And the same formula. 4 means take the fourth offset. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So quantity is 200 for 120, right? I can try 130 and it should show me what? It should show me 200 only. Okay, so I'll take 140. So we know that it is changing. Okay. So this is a horizontal lookup. This is a vertical lookup. Are we clear on this?
Yeah.
Now, there are lots of issues with VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP. Number one issue, and which is the most pressing issue, is that whatever you want to look up has to be on the leftmost part of the table. Okay. So if you are looking at this table, then you can only look up these things. If you are looking up this table, you can look up only this code. Right? So that is a very, very big problem. And therefore, it has to be the leftmost column. All the rest of the columns have to be adjacent to each other. And one more problem is, if I delete one row or one column, for example, say I delete this column, then this formula goes for a toss because it will not be able to find the column number 3. Okay. So there are some problems here in VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP. So let us see how XLOOKUP overcomes these problems and gives us much more. Let us come to the next sheet, which again is the same thing. I've added one more column, previous year value, just for the fun of it. And I have used a formula called XLOOKUP. Now what XLOOKUP does is something very similar, but in a slightly different way. So what XLOOKUP does is, I'm saying equal to XLOOKUP, open bracket, What I want to look up? I want to look up this cell, same as earlier, comma, lookup array. Where I want to look up, I will say now specifically that I want to look up in this range only. I'm not taking the entire table. See, this is the difference. Okay, so I want to look up here. And what I want to return array is, suppose I want to see only the price. So I can select the price, comma. Okay, so now these are the three parameters I need. First one is what I want to look up, where I want to look up, that is this, and what I want to return. I want this. So it is showing me the price of 350. Now you see the difference between VLOOKUP and this XLOOKUP. What XLOOKUP allows us to do is make all the cells independent. It is not saying the fourth column or the third column from the left. It is actually making me write what I want. So for example, again, I will just go back to this, and instead of C5 to C9, if I say I want the value, I can select this and I get the value. If I say previous year value, so I can, instead of E5 to E9, I can say F5 to F9, and it will give me previous year's value. So this makes it very powerful, because even if I delete any of these columns in between, as long as the lookup value, the lookup array and the return array, if I am keeping them, I can delete any of these and still it will not affect this, because it is fixed as far as XLOOKUP is concerned. So this is very, very interesting. We'll see how further it improves upon VLOOKUP. Are we clear on this? Again, once more, I will just type it down instead of copying it. I'll say equal to XLOOKUP, open bracket. What you want to look up? This cell. What is the lookup array? So I want to look up this code and return array. So I want to see the quantity. So I'll give this and close the bracket. These are only three things which are compulsory. Now you see, by default, it is showing not available.
Yeah.
Because 121 is not available. There in VLOOKUP, by default, it was, even if it is not available, you see the previous one. Here you have to force it to look up the previous one. Now suppose I say 120, then I should get the right answer. Are we clear on this?
So
Now,
whether you write uppercase or lowercase, it doesn't make a difference. Look up. Earlier
no, that doesn't make a difference. It will automatically convert it to uppercase. If you remember, in VLOOKUP also I typed false in lowercase, it automatically converted it into uppercase.
Okay.
So uppercase, lowercase will not matter. Now there are further parameters here. So XLOOKUP, what you want to look up, H6, where you want to look up A5 to A9, okay, and what you want to return D5 to D9, right?
Yeah.
Now I put a comma. Now see what is the next parameter, if not found. So here straight away I can give my message, not found, which earlier I had to write that if error formula. So here straight away I can write a message not found and automatically it comes. This is very cool. So within the function itself, we are writing everything. We are writing if found, you return that. If it is not found, you say not found or not available or whatever you want to say. That text is your choice. Okay?
Yeah.
Not applicable or whatever you want to say. Whatever is in quotes is your choice. If it is found, it will return the correct value. If it is not found, it will say not found. Okay. Are we clear on this? Obviously, if we want to copy this, obviously we will have to fix all these things. H5 will be variable, but A5 will be, we have to press F4 to make it constant.
Oh, okay.
Obviously, all this we have to do. Here we have to press F4 and make it $AF $5 and press F4 and $F $9. And then if we copy this all the way down, you will get. Okay. And if we had put in the same formula, if we had put, if there is an error, sorry, and then I'm just copying it all the way down. Are we clear on this?
Yes.
So what I am again saying, X lookup, what to look up, where to look up, what to return, and if it is not found, what to say. Everything is in one place. Okay, so you don't have, you have to forget your if error. There is a other function also, smart VLOOKUP, if error, reverse VLOOKUP, etc., etc. All that is eliminated. Here you get everything in one place. So this is a very, very powerful function. And obviously, if you want something else to be returned, you can return something else. Previous year value, you want to say current year value, or you want to say quantity or price or whatever. So in very large tables, this becomes very, very powerful, because then you can pick up even the code and item name, you can keep it as a master, and you can straight away refer to it from anywhere in the spreadsheet or in the other sheets also. Okay. Now in VLOOKUP, we also had this problem that whatever you are looking up should be on the leftmost column, correct? In XLOOKUP, that problem is not there, because now both are independent, and therefore you can come here and say, I want to see the code for keyboard. So what I'll say again here, XLOOKUP B13, that is, I want to search this, look up from here and return this. See the formula now. You have to look up the item name from the item name column and return my code. This you could never do in XLOOKUP or VLOOKUP. You couldn't go backwards. If you put -1, then the whole thing would not work. So here you can do a backward lookup also. Suppose now you say mouse, what is the code for mouse? Automatically it will show you code for mouse. Or you can say mouse pad. Because you are looking for an exact match by default, automatically it is going to mouse pad and it is showing you the code for mouse pad. Suppose you say stand. Is this clear? So you can look backwards also, you can look forwards also, you can look up any way you want.
Suppose you have a spreadsheet like this, okay? For example, let's say we have a mark sheet, right?
Yeah.
So we have names, roll numbers, and you will have various marks.
Yeah.
Now, for a particular subject, can I say greater than 60? So I want to find out all the first classes, or less than 40, all the failures. Is that possible?
Yeah. We'll look up that also. In fact, this is very powerful. This XLOOKUP is very powerful. Now you can look up multiple columns also in XLOOKUP. Now see how this is structured. You have this code and you have so many things which are linked to this code, right? I'll just remove this formula for the time being. Uh, okay, let's go to this formula. What I have said here is look up this code E13 from where A5 to A9 and return B5 to E9, B5 to E9. So return this entire range. Okay, so when I'm pressing enter, I'm getting the entire range, price, quantity, value, everything. I'm not typing different formulas. Earlier in VLOOKUP, I had to type VLOOKUP formulas in each of these cells. Actually, there is nothing in this cell. I am pressing delete, nothing is happening here. I'm pressing delete here, nothing is happening here. Okay, only if I come here where the formula is and I delete this formula, it goes. Now this is also very, very useful. So I'm saying equal to X lookup, open bracket, look up this. Where do I want to look this up? In this code, comma. What do I want to return? I want to return this entire thing. I'll take the previous year value also now. And close the bracket. See, the previous year value also has come. The title has not come obviously because you have to type it manually, but this whole thing has come in one shot. I have to write only one formula and I get my lookups for the entire range. Now, this is also very, very useful. I hope you are getting this. Because we are doing only one formula today, and it can be a little complex if you don't get it.
Suppose you make a mistake writing the formula, what happens?
So, writing the formula, if you make a mistake, you make a mistake. So if you say, if not F9 and you say only D9, so you get only that much.
So it doesn't suggest a correction.
That, see, it doesn't know what is in your mind. No? It doesn't know what is in your mind. So you might want only the price and the quantity, or you might just want the value. So you can look up multiple columns. Again, here, obviously, these columns have to be contiguous. You can't say, I want this column and this column and this column. These have to be contiguous. But in one formula, you can get the entire thing across the board. Again, very, very useful. Like if you are saying you have the person's code number and his name, and then you have multiple subjects out here. So you want to see his entire subjects in another place. For whatever reason, you want to calculate his pass percentage, etc. All that can come in one shot. And of course, the other things all remain. You can say if not found, you can put comma and then match mode and search mode. We will see how it works. Okay, so again, I'll just go back to F9 and I'll take all. Okay.
Yeah.
Extremely easy. Now, if I want something, some calculation to be done during lookup. Now, this also is very, very useful. So if I am saying my product code is here and I want the value. Sorry, this is wrongly written. And for whatever reason, I don't have this price into quantity. I have this value only. I'm sorry. For whatever reason, I don't have this column. I only have price and quantity. So while actually I am looking up, I can do a multiplication. So I'm saying look up B18, that is this particular product code where I want to look up A5 to A9 here. And then what I want to be returned is C5 to C9 multiplied by D5 to D9. So I am doing a calculation on the fly and I'm getting a result straight away. Okay, I'm not using this value. I'm just multiplying this by this, price into quantity. Are we getting this?
Yeah, can we see that formula again? Yes.
So what you're saying, X lookup, B18, that is this code, comma, where you want to look up here, A5 to A9. What you want to return? You want C5 to C9 multiplied by D5 to D9. So this into this, I want the, okay?
Yeah.
Now for whatever reason, suppose I want my total value of this plus previous year value. So what I will say, instead of C5 to C9, I will say E5 to E9 plus F5 to F9. Okay. So then whatever I do, I take 101, get my 75,000. Okay.
Yeah.
This is also very cool because you can do you can use a formula on the fly. So during lookup itself, I can use a formula, which was not possible with VLOOKUP. I had to have two columns, get the lookup values, and then have a third column where I would do the multiplication or addition or whatever I want to do. I might want a percentage, whatever I want to do, I could have done. So during lookup, I want to find a result or do some calculations. Okay.
Okay.
And lastly, we have a match mode and a search mode. So what does it mean? Let us see how it works. So normally, again, the same thing. What we are saying is, see the formula, X lookup, we are looking up this E18 in this case. Where are you looking up? In A5 to A9. Okay. What you want to return, B5 to E9, that is this entire thing, name, price, quantity, and value, right? Then what is the next parameter? If not found. So I'm ignoring that. So if you want to ignore that, you just put a comma and then put another comma. So I'm ignoring that particular parameter. Then I'm coming to match mode. What is match mode? Here I am seeing, can you read this? Sorry.
Okay. If not found.
Okay, match mode, what it says is, if exact match, now you see here you have so many other options. And type this again, comma, comma. Now what are the options? Exact match, or next smaller item, or exact match or next larger item. You know, you have so many options. So if it is not an exact match, what to do? This is what VLOOKUP had only that option, either true or false. Here you can go to the next smaller item, that is the earlier item, or you can go to the next larger item, assuming that these are indexed or they are in a particular order. So smaller and larger will depend on this. So if I say next smaller item, what happens is if I write 101, if I write 110, oops. Okay, so here also I'll have to say next smaller item. Sorry, 1. So 110, if you notice, there is no 110. So it will go to the next smaller item. So it will give you all the details. I'm sorry, why is it going to mouse? Oh, it's going to the next higher item. So -1 is the next smaller item, +1 is the exact match or next larger item. Okay, so I have to say -1. Okay, so it will go to the earlier one. Now, why would anybody want it like this? Here, in this case, it does not fit. But actually, what happens is when you are having, say, for example, say a calculation. So if you are saying 0 to 60,000, if your salary is 0 to 60,000, you should get 10% bonus. And if it is 61,000 or 60,000, 61,000, let us say, to 70,000, you should get 20%, suppose. Now, in this case, when you're looking up, suppose you are 65,000, then where will it go? It will go to the upper one or the lower one. That is where these sort of things come in the picture. You were talking about marks. So suppose you are saying 0 to 35 is pass, 36 to 60 is first class. So if it is falling between 36 and 60, where will it go? That you define it here. You got it?
Yeah.
So when you say -1, you go to the earlier item. If you say +1, you go to the next item. If you say +1, it goes to the next item. Now, anywhere between 101 to 120, it will go to the next item. So if you take 102, it will be the same. If you take 119, it will be the same. The minute you say 120 or more, it will change. I'm sorry, 121, it will change. It will go to the next item.
Okay.
Are we clear on this?
Yeah. Now suppose you have two columns, all right? And let's say you got phone numbers, right?
Yeah.
You 300 phone numbers from one list and you got 300 phone numbers from another list. And you want to be sure that both have all the numbers, okay? And they are not really, in order. So can you use this, or in that, do we have to do the normal?
No. There, that is a different thing. There you are comparing, either you find duplicates or you find gaps. So that is a different function altogether.
Okay.
Here you are just looking up anywhere there is a gap. Like for example, now between 61 and 70, there is a gap. So there you have to choose which one you want. You want the earlier one to be applied or the next one to be applied.
Okay.
That is where this gets used. Similarly, the last parameter that you have in this function is the search mode. So after match mode, you have what we call as search mode. Now in search also, again, in VLOOKUP, it always searches from the top to bottom, assuming that your data is organized and filtered, indexed in the ascending order. It always goes first to last. In this case, you have the option from last to first also. So if there is something which is having multiple entries, for example, a person has worked in one department from one date to the other, and in another department from another date to another date, and you want to look up from what is the latest one. So you want to look up from bottom to top. You don't want to look up from top to bottom. So here you can even search top to bottom, bottom to top, which in VLOOKUP you could not do. So this is again another tip, you can search from first to last, in last to first. In this case, of course, we have all unique numbers, so there is no difference. But if there are multiple codes, for example, this code 101 is repeated, and you want to say that this is date wise or something, then automatically it will search from bottom to top. So XLOOKUP has a whole lot of parameters which are very, very useful and very, what did I do? I can do 1 or I can do -1, and it will give me different results if there are multiple entries for the same item. Okay, so what are the parameters? If we go through again, VLOOKUP was very simple. You just had lookup value, that is this one, what you want to look up, where you want to look up the entire table, and the column index, that is how much offset from the leftmost column. 1, 2, 3, 4. You start with the first column, right? And then whether true or false, depending on whether exact match or not exact match. That's all. Whereas in XLOOKUP, we have so many parameters. We have, again, what you want to look up, where you want to look up, what you want to return, and then you have, if not found, what to do, match mode, that is, how does it match with this thing, with your actual code. If it is not a match, then you look up earlier item or the later item, and search mode, which direction the search should take place. So this is what the XLOOKUP function is all about. Any questions?
No.
Anyone has any suggestions, thoughts, how you can use it, how you can use it in your day-to-day working? Maybe you should try it when wherever you are using XLOOKUP, VLOOKUP, you should try using XLOOKUP, and you'll get a lot more flexibility and a lot more parameters. So today's session, we stop here. Any thoughts? Owen, any thoughts?
Honestly, I've very rarely used V and HLOOKUP. I didn't even know what the V stood for, so it gives you my idea what my involvement in. I always got somebody else to help me, but XLOOKUP looks really, really my kind of lookup. Gandaki lookup.
So you are Gen X.
I think I'm Gen 40. I'm not quite. I'm not quite Midnight's children. There you go.
So any case, if you are looking lookups, and as I said, like we are talking of only 5 or 7 rows, but if you are talking of 500,000 rows, then this becomes very, very useful. And you can pick up, especially when you are talking of product codes or the name, etc., etc. So it can give you a lot more flexibility and a lot more many parameters, and you don't have to use. There are so many functions that it replaces, like reverse lookup, smart VLOOKUP. If error, of course, we saw how it. There is something called index match. All these are combined in this one XLOOKUP function. This is relatively a late function. It has come in 2016. Earlier, it was not there. Earlier, we used to struggle with VLOOKUP and then try to manipulate it in multiple ways. But this becomes very, very useful. Any other comments?
I've never used either H or VLOOKUP, so this is great.
So VLOOKUP is also very useful, or rather it was very useful at one point of time. But now, of course, it is replaced. I don't think you'll need to use VLOOKUP or HLOOKUP at all. You have to go for, because this makes the columns and the rows independent. Whereas there you have to have it in a contiguous table all the time. Any other thoughts? Like you were talking of marks, so you could evaluate the marks. If it is less than something, you can give a certain grade. If it is more than something, you could give a different grade, etc., etc.
Mm.
And if it is a large number of students, how many students in your class?
At a time, at the FY level, BCom level, we have 360.
360 in one class?
No, it's divided into 3 divisions, but then
So 120 in a class. Yeah, that is what I thought. Around 120 are in a class in FYSY. And it can make it life much easier if you have the roll numbers and the names of the students. You can search by student, you can look up by name, you can say exact match, or you can say the nearest match. You know, there was one option of Boolean search also. So like even if the first 2-3 characters match, but then you have a problem there. In case there are similar names, then you have a problem.
yes,
But roll numbers will be much more accurate.
yeah.
Anyone else has any comments? Karishma? Janvi? Shenaz?
We use it very often, but I don't do it because I get scared to I make a mistake. But we deal with large numbers in the placement,
Yeah.
and it's very, very, very useful. It gives us the exact, you need students with 60% points, so much, it's so much CGPA.
So you can teach your students who actually handle Excel and make them wiser. Since
They
you
do
are
come
wiser.
up, but we've got a very, very good person on the team, so we became lazy. I think we need to practice it. Yeah. What is, all your sessions, Yazdi, I want to tell everybody are so, it brings a learning to the conscious level. We really want to start working on things we would have never looked at. Thank you so much.
Welcome, welcome. Okay then.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thanks for being here. All the best.
Thank you for sharing your knowledge.
We'll meet again on the first Friday of next month.
Yeah,
Thank you and good night.
Take care then. Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
good night.
Bye.